All right, so we're diving into this incident at Trump International Golf Course, an apparent assassination attempt on the former president. And he was out golfing.
Yeah, it really highlights the security risks for these high-profile people even after they leave office.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what's really striking is the sources you sent over suggest this wasn't random at all. I mean, camping out near the golf course.
Right, sounds premeditated.
Yeah, this Ryan Ruth, the suspect, he didn't just, snap. The sources say he had a rifle ready and even an obliterated serial number.
Exactly. And, that kind of planning is, that's unsettling, at the very least. But what's strange is he didn't even fire.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, a Secret Service agent fired a warning shot. Ruth drove gay.
So it's like, it seems planned, but then no actual shots at the former president.
And that's the million-dollar question right there. Was this a genuine attempt? Maybe he got spooked. Or was it attention-seeking? Something else entirely.
It really does make you wonder what was going on in his head.
And what's really strange is Ruth's booking photo. He's smiling.
I know, right? You'd think someone in that situation facing those charges wouldn't be smiling for the camera.
Yeah, it's not your typical reaction. It could be a sign of, well, maybe a mental state that needs looking into, or even an act. Maybe he's trying to appear harmless. It's hard to say without knowing more about him psychologically.
That's very true. That's very true. So we've talked about what happened, but let's talk about this Ryan Ruth. The information about him is all over the place.
Definitely. Like his political leanings. One source says Republican, another says he's voted Democrat and donated to them.
So which is it? Did he change his mind, or does he just not fit into those boxes?
It's a good question. And then there's the detail about him putting down atheist on those arrest records.
Yeah, why is that there? It feels like they're trying to hint at something.
It's possible they're trying to show he's alienated. Feeling disconnected. Studies have shown that can lead people to extreme views or actions.
It's like they're saying because he doesn't fit in, that's what led him to do something like this.
It's not about saying all atheists are like this, but more about whether he felt so out of place in society that it pushed him to this. It's complicated. The sources don't give a clear answer.
And it's not like this is his first run-in with the law, especially with guns. Wasn't there something about a machine gun?
Oh, you're talking about that 2002 thing. Yeah, possession of a fully automatic machine gun. He got convicted for that.
See, that's what I mean. It's not just some guy who stumbled into a bad situation.
This wasn't his first rodeo. He knows firearms, which
Wow.
makes the whole thing even more unsettling.
So knowing all that, what's he actually being charged with now?
Right now, it's possession of a firearm by a felon, which he is, and then possessing one with an obliterated serial number, which we talked about.
And those are serious on their own, but
Yeah.
they could add more, right?
Oh, absolutely. One source mentioned aggravated assault could be on the table, especially since he pointed the rifle at an agent.
I mean, you're really making this sound like some kind of movie plot.
Well, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So let's say, just for a second, we're on the jury. We've got this incident, his past, and that weird mugshot smile. What stands out?
That's the thing, right? It's like you're trying to make a puzzle, but the pieces don't quite fit.
It really does feel that way. Like, you want it to be straightforward, but it just isn't.
It raises so many questions, What was he going for? Did he want to hurt the former president, or was it more about sending a message? And if it was a message, who was it for?
Right. Like,
Yeah.
we can look at the charges and all, but what was going through his head?
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
And that's what's so interesting to me, I think. We want simple answers, A good guy, a bad guy, easy. But this, it's messy.
Yeah, and it's like,
Mhm.
even if we had all the information, would we ever really get it?
That's the thing about these deep dives sometimes, right? It's not always about solving the case. It's about getting comfortable with, we might never know.
So for our listener tuning in, what's the takeaway here?
Don't jump to conclusions, for one. It's tempting to come up with a story that makes sense, but this shows how complicated people can be.
Yeah, it's like, we want things to be black and white, but life's just not like that.
And that's okay. Sometimes the most important thing is admitting I don't have all the answers and being okay with that.
It's more about asking the right questions.
Yeah.
That's what makes you think.
Absolutely. This whole thing, it makes you wonder about the things we think we know.
Well, I know one thing.
Yeah.
This deep dive was intense. For anyone listening, I hope this makes you think twice about the news, about motivations. Sometimes the most obvious answer isn't the real story.
And that's what we're here for, to dig a little deeper.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll catch you on the next Deep Dive.